Northrop Grumman and the United States Air Force have released the first new video of the B-21 Raider bomber in nearly 4 years. The new plane calls to mind the B-2 bomber, with a few key differences according to aviation experts. The B-21's nose confirms that it has a beak or hawksbill that's more prominent than on the B-2 Spirit, which it generally resembles. Although details are obscured, the aircraft's underside appears to be deeper than the B-2. The B-21 appears to have a much more pronounced chine, or flattened leading edge when compared to the artist's rendering revealed in January. This leading edge then tapers into the blended wing fuselage. This chine also represents a departure from the B-2, which has a cross-section with a more traditional wing-like chord shape. The new stealth U.S. Air Force B-21 bomber has taken another important technological step toward combat readiness, with integrated computer automation designed to streamline information, improve targeting, and provide pilots with organized real-time warzone information. Subscribe to our channel for more interesting videos. The B-21 Raider is the first new Air Force bomber since the B-2A Spirit debuted in 1988. The B-21, named after Doolittle's Raiders, the force of the B-25 Mitchell bombers that bombed Tokyo in the spring of 1942, is designed to overcome modern air defense threats such as the Russian S-400 surface-to-air missile system and the Chinese J-20 stealth fighter in order to penetrate enemy airspace. The B-21 will be equipped with precision-guided conventional missions as well as nuclear weapons. First Air Force bomber of the 21st century, designated B-21. This new fighter is expected to replace America's highly capable 4th-generation F-15 as well as the advanced but increasingly rare F-22 Raptor. The B-21 Raider is a bomber built by the United States that emphasizes the term bomber because it only carries bombs. It lacks torpedoes and missiles and is equipped with 3 different types of bombs that deploy separately. Bombs, unlike missiles, cannot be avoided using missile countermeasures and cannot be shot out of the sky, so damage is entirely dependent on the pilot's aim. On the USS Enterprise, the B-21 is already equipped. 3 distinct capabilities served as the foundation for the Raider's design. First, a sizable and adaptable payload bay was necessary to enable the transport of the full range of present-day and foreseeable armament. Second, it would require a sizable operating range. And third, the estimated average procurement unit cost per aircraft should not be greater than $550 million in FY 2010 dollars. The final stipulation was made public in an effort to force rival manufacturers to limit their product offerings. The USAF has given the aircraft's maker instructions to construct it with a supposedly open architecture hardware and software system. This means that the B-21 can be much more than just a heavy bomber. Integrating upcoming upgrades should be fairly simple thanks to the open architecture specification. This might also guarantee that the bomber is flexible enough to accommodate a range of novel, distinct missions. B-21 flight testing is expected to begin next year. It was previously stated that the USAF only had 2 B-21s in production. According to reports, the service plans to purchase at least 100 B-21 Raiders, with some analysts predicting as many as 200 stealth bombers. The B-21 Raider program is based on decades of experience gained from the B-2 stealth bomber. The B-2 flew for the first time in 1989 and participated in combat operations in the First Gulf War, the Balkans conflict, and other subsequent battlegrounds. This provides the company with a solid foundation upon which to grow. As per information, the Raider, like its predecessor, will be a stealth aircraft capable of operating as both manned and unmanned combat aerial vehicles, or UCAV. It could be armed with a variety of lethal weapons as a UCAV. The engines on the B-21 are located near the wing root at the point where the wing and fuselage meet. The Raider's engine air intakes are slanted, and the plane has overwing exhausts to mask the infrared signal from the 4 engines. There are also presumptions about the types of sensors that'll be installed on the B-21 Raider. For instance, the F-35 has cutting-edge electro-optical targeting systems that improve the fighter's air-to-ground capabilities. A similar type of sensor could be installed on the Raider. B-21 sensors, computers, and electronics can better scale, deploy, and streamline procedural functions such as checking avionics specifics, measuring altitude and speed, and integrating otherwise disparate pools of sensor information thanks to visualization and software-hardware synergy. In practice, this means that more computer automation will be used to manage and organize war-sensitive sensor, targeting, and navigational data, allowing pilots to make faster and more informed combat decisions. Systems can upgrade faster, reduce their hardware footprint, and better utilize automation, AI, and machine learning applications by leveraging software-enabled virtualization. This means that B-21 pilots can share information and locate and destroy targets like enemy air defenses much more quickly. This can help to speed up precision weapon attacks, identify approaching air and ground threats, and perhaps most importantly, keep pilot crews alive. In terms of radar, the B-2 bomber used the APQ-181 phased array radar, which allowed it to operate in non-permissive environments with very low interception chances. The B-21 could expand on this concept to meet the changing needs of warfighting. The B-21 could potentially be used to seek out and acquire enemy locations in order to relay them to other units, while also receiving critical battlefield intel from other assets operating in the operational theater. Because of advancements in infrared search and tracking technology, modern air defenses and radar systems have increased detection ranges, increasing the likelihood of detecting even stealth aircraft. So why is the United States Air Force spending money on a new stealth bomber? The next-generation B-21 stealth bomber program is expected to cost taxpayers at least $203 billion to develop, buy, and operate 100 aircraft over the period of 3 decades, according to the service estimate released in September of last year. The most thorough estimate for the Raider to date, according to this figure. Flying over strategic targets heavily guarded by modern air defense platforms such as the S-400s and S-500s is no longer as operationally feasible as it once was. B-2s were previously used in war zones such as Kosovo, Iraq, and Libya, where Soviet-era air defense systems were in use. In the future, B-21 Raider could be used as a strategic bomber, carrying nuclear weapons and serving as the bomber component of the U.S. nuclear triad. The U.S. Air Force intends to equip the B-21 with the next-generation long-range standoff, or LRSO, cruise missile for nuclear operations. The warplane will be able to carry B-61 nuclear gravity bombs, including the new B-61-12 with dial-a-yield capability. In addition, for conventional strikes, the Raider will be outfitted with the JASSM-ER conventional cruise missile and 2,000-pound GBU-31 Joint Directed Attack Munition satellite-guided bombs. Given the significance of the B-21, which will eventually make up 1/3 of the U.S. nuclear deterrent triad, the other two being land-based missiles and submarine-based missiles is understandable. A nuclear-capable bomber intended to not only approach but also penetrate enemy territory must use some extremely advanced technology due to the increasing sophistication of modern air defenses. As of February 2022, 6 B-21s are in production. In March 2022, the first B-21 was relocated to a calibration facility. Air Force Secretary Frank Kendall III mentioned the possibility of a bomber drone working alongside the bomber in March 2022. However, the United States is not the only country with stealth bombers. China and Russia have begun similar projects. Russia is developing its Tupolev Pakda next-generation stealth bomber, while China is developing its own covert H-20 stealth bomber. Only time will tell who wins the new age stealth race. What's your favorite feature of B-21? Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon.